Hello everyone, this is Niad Ultima, and welcome back to Let's Play Shining Force Ironman. We just got out of the quarry, rescued all the men, reunited all the families, we saved Xylo, and got a werewolf on our team. And now I have no idea where I'm going, because I'm not paying attention. Actually, oh, wait, we might need to go up here. I've got to do a couple of things in town before we go on to our next battle. I have to restock. Hi, I'm Boken. I finally climbed up this mountain. Where am I? Someone did not, look at a map before he went climbing. But I guess that's like the heart of an adventurer, I suppose. The Runefrost army now has a strange device, a weapon of the ancients. I would love to be an adventurer. Well, I say that now, and then if, these, little 16-bit, video games were actually real, I'd probably wet myself every time I tried to go on an adventure and saw a three-headed wolf chasing me. So may not be as romantic as I have kind of put into my head. We need to go here because I want to pick up a character later. Kokichi never listens to me when he's doing research. I'm helping Kokichi figure out how to fly. Well, you can just grow bird wings, like our bird people. They know how to fly. You have to talk to him a certain amount of times or whatnot. You have to trigger a cutscene. Ho-hum. Do we have to search the machine? Yeah, you do. Okay. What are you doing? Don't touch anything, you meddler. New in town, eh? Get out back, I'll show you my latest invention. Oh boy. He's gonna show us some stuff, guys. Watch carefully. I want to be as, when I'm that old, I want to be as, I want to be as much of a tinkerer as he is. Good luck, Kokichi! Whoosh. 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 Ooh. Yikes. Well, it didn't work this time either. We just leave him there. Oh boy. Another failure. I'm starting to think Kokichi should just give up. I want to be as much of a tinkerer as Kokichi is when I get that old. I want to be more of a tinkerer in general. It always looks good, and then something goes really wrong, and it just never fails. Poor Kokichi. Yeah, I'm trying to learn how to, tinker with electronics and stuff more and more. I'm actually thinking about going, taking some classes on, electronics and tinkering to get better at it. I want to know a lot about that at some point in my life. I want revenge. Can I join the Shining Force? Sure, why not? Wait, I must protect Bustok. I must protect Bustok. I'll join you some other time. It's fun. Oh, there's the girl's dad. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be back with my daughter. That's cute. He's home. My daddy's home. I'm so happy. Aw, such good kids. Alright. So, we gotta restock a little bit. Oh, this is the weapon shop. We don't need weapons. I mean, I'm sure we do, but we don't really need any of those weapons. We'll need a healing seed, though, that's for sure. Gort. I think I'm gonna buy two healing seeds and one medical herb for most of my characters. Because medical herbs are still, I don't want to say prominent. They're still useful. That's the word I was looking for. They're still useful. You just have to know when you want to use them. I should probably get rid of that medical herb or that antidote with low. I'll trade it to Kin or Henri or something. I kind of use these birds, like, on top of being distractions, I also kind of use them for, like, mobile healing. Like, fly around and, like, give healing seeds to people and block off enemy attacks, like that kind of stuff. Now, the cool thing about Xylo is he doesn't use any traditional weapons, so you can, like, just fill him up on healing items. Now we'll use 2 medical herbs. I think that'd be fine. I'll properly introduce Xylo when we get into the battlefield, which won't take us long at all. That's not what I wanted. We want to give Lowe's antidote, because there's really nothing that can poison us. I don't think, anyways. We'll... Oh, whoops. We'll give medical herb to Lowe. I don't think there is. And even if so, Lowe has a detox spell. So... he can heal just with his magic in general if someone gets poisoned. But I don't think there's a poison enemy for a while that I know of. Anyways, that I can think of. You beat them. We're free. Thank you. Alrighty. I'm going to talk to the people up here really quick, and then we'll make our way further. We'll be fine here, even without Xylo. You even saved Xylo. How can we ever thank you enough? Ah, no need thanks. We need no thanks, my friends. We do this out of the goodness of our hearts. Alright, guys. So now we have to go across the valley close to... there's a village called Pau we have to kind of go to, and the Runefrost army is apparently gathering there. They are trying to block our way to the bridge. Attack them, Shining Force. Okay, so... this is Xylo. He's a werewolf. He starts out as at level 9, which is very good. His attack is 27 in perspective. Gort is 10. His attack is 27. Gort's defense is 17. His defense is 15. His movement is 7, and he's unimpeded by forests. I think mountains still impede him, but I think he's unimpeded by forests. So he can just kind of walk through a lot of forests. He's got decent mobility. His agility is 12. Oh, that's the wrong person. His agility is 11. So he's right up there with Gort, and Gort's like a truck. Like, Gort is like gonna be our saving grace in this one. Okay, so this map is fairly straightforward. It's a world map, so we have to like travel from one place to another. It's been a while since we've done one of these. There's a couple of skellies, nothing we can't handle if we're careful. This grouping's a little concerning because you have 2 dark elves and they totally, you know, just destroy Diane. But they're not overly bad. God, they have an attack of 26. For the record, these lizardmen are brutes, and they have 24. Goodness. Alright, so it's not too bad. Something you have to keep in mind is on this map, these skeletons have They have herbs, ladies and gentlemen. So they can heal themselves. There's some new enemies up here. We have some Pegasus Knights. They don't hit too hard. They hit about the same as a Skelly, but they're very fast, and they have high mobility, so they can easily wrap around and hit some of your squishies in the back. And they have a lot of movement. Like, 7's not bad, and they're unimpeded, so they can fly like around mountains and whatnot. And sometimes they can be hard to hit. There's 2 over here. Is there 2 over here? I forget. Yeah, there's 2 over here. And then there's 2 up here. And then there's a priest and a lizardman up here, blocking the bridge. This will take us to a city called Pau, where the Runefrost army is supposedly, all gathering. So we just have to cross the world map. I'm still only gonna do 1 battle per stream just to keep the videos lower, but there is a battle right here that we'll have to fight as well, and I will egress just to get out of the battle. I'm not egressing. I won't start the battle, get some EXP and egress. I'll egress as soon as I get there, if I get there. But I believe in us, guys. Oh, here's another thing I like about this map. I didn't notice this till my most recent playthrough. So, this is clearly the village of Boostoke, right? So we cross the world map. This is a bridge. This is actually like a little map of its own when we get there. Look at this! This is the quarry. I never, because I never, like, you can pan the map and look around. I never looked over in this little direction. Ever. Like, like when I was, until my most recent playthrough. Because I was always just like, okay, we're out here, we're gonna fight, la-di-da, let's fight, la-di-da, la-di-da. And then, like, just on my most recent playthrough, I just kind of scanned the map and noticed there was a whole extra, like, little spot over here. And I noticed this is the quarry that we fought in earlier. I was like, oh, that's cool. You know, they gave a little, I mean, it's not, like, super detailed or anything, but it's a little map sprite designated to the quarry. I always thought that was cool. Okay. This map might take, this is going to be one of those maps, it's just going to take time. Because we want to slowly make our way up this map. Because these trees... What? These trees greatly impede mobility, so we kind of want to slowly make our way up here. That kind of scared me, because I'm not used to those dark elves moving. Oof. I'm gonna check something. They say hit glow for 14. He has 7 defense. She has 10 defense. Oh, okay, so she can take a skelly hit if she has to. So I'm gonna move Balbury up here. That way this, just to kind of impede these elves a little bit. I'll put Xylo over here. Oof. That kind of scares me, guys. I'm not used to these elves moving like that. I guess he thought he could hit somebody? I'm not used to that, to be honest. Oof. I'm scared now, guys. I'm gonna move him here. Wait. I'm gonna move him here. That way, he can't get to... See, he's gonna use the herb on himself. Which is fine. That's extra experience for us, guys. But it's just something to keep in mind when you're trying to thin out the herd. They will do that. I'm gonna keep Chris down here. I want to get this elf out of here. He scares me. 7. My main guy's attack isn't that great right now. Of course, I don't think he gets really good attack spurts till later. I'm gonna move Balbury here. Okay, see what I mean? Like, he can just, like, go... We're not sending him out that far, but, like, he can just kind of, like, go across all sorts of terrain. He's very, very mobile. And he hits fairly well, too. He's gonna be a good fighter. He will be one of our really good frontliners. I use him in my regular Let's Play, like, just... Oh, goodness. Okay, they're changing strats on me, and I don't like it at all. I might have to move my main guy down a little bit. This is a little concerning. I'll keep Gort up here. Yeah, I'm not used to these Pegasus Knights coming down here like this. This is a little weird. Usually they kind of stay up there and I have to fight them all at once. Oh, I don't. Oh, no. Let's keep Teo surrounded. This is a little concerning, actually. Okay, I'm going to put Eamon here. That's okay. Okay, that's not too bad. He only hit for 6. Those Pegasus Knights are only going to hit him for 6. Ah, guys. I don't want to use this heal 5 so quickly, but I don't want my main guy taking any weird risks. Heal 2, you can heal from a range, whereas heal 1, you can only heal adjacent. Heal 2, you can heal from a range, but it takes more mana. But I'll take that risk for now. She still has healing seeds and medical herbs, and I can always trade her more with Balbury and Eamon. What do we have here? Okay, this sniper is the only ranged unit. He can only hit... He can't... Okay. Yeah, let's do this. Give my main guy some EXP. 3 points. Man, I should probably give that power ring to my main guy, but... I'm trying not to use my main guy. Oh, oof. I'm trying not to use my main guy a lot. Just because, like, I don't want to put him in harm's way. I want him to be strong enough to take a hit or two, but I don't want to, like, overly put him into harm's way. So I'm trying not to use him a lot. Okay. Now we're getting to the point where these skellies aren't giving me nothing for EXP. At least to, like, Gort and whatnot. Let's keep him around Chris. I've got to be careful. I don't want to overextend myself, but I want to actually do, like, decent damage to everything as well. I think that's fine. Okay, there they go. Okay. Yeah, I'm not used to these Pegasus Knights coming down. They just kind of drift off to the top left, and you usually kind of face them later. Oh, you're gonna heal your buddy, you cheeky little skelly. I mean, that's what I would do. It's just, like, I love how, like, so, one of my, Wayman could have been dead. Ooh, she might be dead. Okay, there goes the Pegasus Knights. One of my friends, we always talk about, like, gaming stuff together and whatnot. Ah, ooh. This is tricky. I'm gonna actually use a healing item on myself. I need to get rid of this Dark Elf. Anyway, one of my really good friends, is it my friend? Actually, it's my dad. My dad's a really good video gamer. He's like a really strategic player. But, like, one of his quirks, and I always kind of, like, argue with him about it, one of his quirks, like, he hates it when enemies can do what you can do. So, like, we were talking about, what were we talking about? Like, he should or shouldn't, I don't remember. Okay, this is a terrible story, guys, I'm sorry. Long story short, very, very long story short, sometimes he gets mad, like, when enemies can do certain things. I don't think the medical herb is one of them. I remember, we were playing a game together, or I was playing a game with him, or something. I was like, ooh. No, she can take a skelly hit. She's fine. He's like, the enemy shouldn't be able to do that. And I was like, well, but if they didn't do it, it'd be too easy. And he was like, yeah, but they shouldn't be able to do that. It was just kind of funny. Ah, no, we gotta take on this elf. Teo can take one skelly hit, and it'll be fine. Lo can take a skelly hit at face value. And look at this, I can even bring my main... Oof. 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 Ooh, guys, I don't know if I want to do this or not. Oh, this is kind of terrifying. Because, see, here's the thing. I can put my main guy here. He only takes 6 damage off a Skelly. Which, he won't kill the Skelly to begin with. Oof. Oof. I don't know. Oh, no. I don't want to do this. Oh, no. Because I kind of want to protect Teo in case she gets doubled. But I don't want to put my main guy there and him get hit by the Skelly and take like 6 points of damage, or more if he gets critted. And then take probably like 11 or 12 off the Dark Elf. Ooh, no. Guys, I don't like this. Why am I doing this? Oh no, don't tell me this is going to be the map that ruins my Ironman. I thought I had this map. Wait. Wait. I can get rid of the sniper. That's not a problem. Let's go ahead and do that. He's stressing me out. Okay, that helps. Hit points by wow. Ah, that was kind of deceptive. I wish it was more. We'll put Balbury in front of Teo, just to give Teo a little bit of breathing room. So one thing I will say about, like, Fire Emblem games that I do kind of appreciate. So, what's cool about Shining Force is most characters, May's level 10. Defense by... Points by 2. God, May is a stalwart. Anyways, one of the things I do, like, I like to compare this game to Fire Emblem because they're very similar IPs. One of the things I really like, about this game is, like, the uniqueness in character sprites. Like, look at, like, that's your main guy's sprite. That's your low healing sprite. And even, like another healer you get shares a different kind of sprite than low. And your mages all look super, even, like, they have a very similar aesthetic, like, they're robed and whatnot, but they look unique. And even the enemies look fairly unique, like, I'm trying to think of a good comparison right now, but we've seen these Dark Elves, look really close to the Snipers, but they're, like, a highly different color. Fire Emblem uses the same classes, so all the sprites look very similar, which is fine, there's nothing wrong with that. But one of the things that Fire Emblem, and it's kind of like a quality of life, I don't think anyone needs healed over here. No. It's kind of like a quality of life thing, is like, in Fire Emblem, your player characters are blue, and your enemy characters are red. And it's supposed to signify, like, who's friend and who's foe. In this game, they're, like, your player characters aren't blue and your enemy characters aren't red. So all the sprites, as well done as I think they are, all of the sprites look very different, but there's no color indication to tell you if they're on your side or not. So you really have to pay attention to, like, who's sprite. Like, you can easily, like, look at, like, Gort and think he's an enemy. Or maybe look at the priest and think he might be a healer. I mean, like, if you look at him, you clearly know. But, like, on Fire Emblem, you can take a glance and see blue and red. And you're like, oh, the blues are good guys. And the reds are bad guys. And it's a lot easier to kind of discern. Just a fun little difference. That it's a quality of life thing, really. So, yeah, see, these guys aren't giving me nothing. I think we're okay. It's a little bit hairy at first, but I think we're doing okay. I would really like May to get one more level, and I'm thinking about promoting her after. She just hit level 10. If I can get her to level, like... If I can get her to, like, level 11 before the next chapter, I think I'm actually going to promote her. Promoting... Typically, if you're doing a regular Shining Force Sword, you can kind of promote whenever you want to, because worst case scenarios, they're a little weaker at first than you want them to be, and you just kind of, like, build them out. But one of the standing problems is if you promote them, like, too early. If you promote a lot of people too early, you might be a little bit weaker than you want to be, and you might have a hard time moving forward with the game. So you don't want to promote a lot of people too early, because then you might have a problem. In an Ironman run, you have to be very particular when you promote, because you don't want everyone to all of a sudden just be really, really weak, or much weaker, and you have a much harder time. I've already done all the healing here. You just don't want everybody to be weaker. I'm not gonna risk her yet. Oh god, I don't want to risk him yet either. I'll start hitting the lizards. The lizard dude. So you kind of want to, like, spread out your promotes. Like, promote one person, give them let them get a level or two, then promote someone else. Your healers and your mages you can probably kind of promote whenever, because you're trying to you don't want them to get hit anyways. So you probably can promote your healers and mages almost whenever you want to. Like, I might promote Teo here pretty soon, just to get her that extra promotion. But at the same time, I kind of want to wait and see how much I can promote her. Like how high of a level can I get for her before I promote her? Because that's just extra stats you get at the end of the game. Yeah, if I can get May to level 11 before this battle's over, I think I'll actually promote her. Go ahead and get that out of the way. don't think anyone needs a heal. My healers, I'm probably going to promote right away. Like, as soon as Low hits 10, like, I'm probably going to promote him right then and there, because he's not necessarily a fighter. For a 1993 Sega Genesis game, I always thought this game looked pretty good. This was kind of like halfway through the 16-bit era. I always thought the graphics on this game looked... I think it was either made in 1992 or 1993. I'm pretty certain. I know it came out in the West in 1993. I'm pretty certain... Oh. Well, we'll have him bonk the priest. I'm pretty certain this game came out in 1993 in both the Japan and the States, but it might have come out in 1992 in Japan. I know this game came out in the States in 93 because that was my birthday. I always remember, like, obviously I didn't play this game until, like, probably 2002, but, like, no. But I always remember, like, looking back when I learned when this game came out in 93, I was like, oh, that's my birthday. That's my birth year. I was always really happy about that. Yeah, weirdly enough, I didn't play this game until I was probably 9. It had to have been 9 years old, because it was 2002. No, wait. It had to have been either 2001 or 2002. I'm not too sure which year. I know for sure it was before 2002, because I remember really, really weird. Sorry guys, I'm trying to think. It had to have been at least before 2002. I'm pretty sure I started playing this game in between 2001 and 2002. It had to have been between those 2 years, because I remember my first Genesis RPG was... I'll keep him over here, her over here. I'm trying to remember... God, I'm trying to remember my past. I'm trying to put years on it all. I was born in 93... I started school in 1999, because I always remember I graduated kindergarten in 2000. Because I always remember, like, I graduated high school 2012, when there's 12 grades of high school. So I always kind of, like, that was an easy way to remember, like, what year I graduated. So I was in kindergarten 2000. I remember playing in 2001. It had to have been in the fall. 2001, I saw my dad, like, playing Phantasy Star 2. That was my first Sega Genesis RPG. Because I remember not playing... that was my first Phantasy Star that I ever played. And then from there, it just, like, expanded. Like, I ended up playing, like, 2, 3, 4, 1. All of them. But I remember it was when I was in first grade. I remember watching, like, my dad play it. And I was like, oh, that looks like a cool game. And he, like, subsequently taught me how to play it. And then, and I actually distinctly, funny story, I remember playing, like, that game. I did not actually beat Phantasy Star 2 until I was in high school. No, till college. Phantasy Star 2 was the game I restarted multiple times. Like, I probably started that game probably almost as many times as I've restarted, like, Final Fantasy 7. But I only actually beat the story, like, beat the final boss and everything, like, one time. I can start moving him up a little bit. Because it's such a hard game. Like, the game, it's probably the hardest JRPG I've ever played. Like, it's, the battles are unforgiving. The battles are brutal, and then the dungeons are confusing. They're very, very, I mean, it's fun. It's very, very challenging. But it's difficult. It's very entertaining, but it's very difficult. I remember not being able to beat that game because I couldn't get through certain dungeons. They were just so hard to like maneuver through. And I remember like watching my dad play this game. No, I saw this game like it was a cartridge in my dad's, like back when I was like in kindergarten, first grade. I rarely went through my dad's cartridges unless he gave me the okay to. This is just a thing. Like, you know, I didn't want to like upset him. But like, you know, like I would play like Sonic and whatnot. I've been playing that for years, but like I didn't play any of his RPGs and stuff because I didn't want to erase his save data and I didn't want to like mess up any of his gameplay. And I remember like I could not beat Phantasy Star 2 for the life of me. And then I remember like selling this game called Shining Force in the same cartridge bin that he had Phantasy Star 2, and I was like, I want to play that game. And he's like, well, if you can't beat Phantasy Star 2, you can't beat this game. And I remember shortly after that, oh, he got a crit. Wow, 25 crit, that's not bad. I remember getting this game. I remember playing shortly after that conversation. I remember playing this game, beating this game probably within a month. And then, like, since then, I have beaten this game several times. Like, story. Like, I've beaten the story of this game many, many times. Ooh, oof. I did not think they'd come down. I thought they'd go back up, because they kind of they tend to retreat. That's okay, Gort to the rescue. But, yeah, so it's just kind of funny. Like, I remember him saying, if you can't beat Phantasy Star 2, you can't beat this game. And then, like, I beat this game, and I only beat Fantasy. That's not a slight on my dad either. I just remember him saying that to me. He was trying to get me to like finish one game before I started another game, which I understand why he would do that, you know. So it was just funny. And then I've only actually beaten Phantasy Star 2 once, and it was when I was in college. It was actually probably only 4 or 5 years ago. I just went through like I was trying to think. I have beaten Phantasy Star 4 a few times. Like, I've beaten Phantasy Star 4 a couple of times. It's my favorite of the Phantasy Stars, and one day I'll do a Let's Play on this, of Phantasy Star 4. But, like, I remember, I remember doing, oh my god, I'm losing my train of thought. My train of thought is being derailed. What was I even talking about? Attack by 3's good. I don't even remember what I was talking about. I know what I was talking about, but, oh yeah, like, I beat Phantasy Star 4 a few times, but I never beat, like, Phantasy Star 2 or 1, even though 2 was the first one I played. So I went back to college, and, like, I beat Phantasy Star... I'd already beat Phantasy Star 4. I beat Phantasy Star 3 when I was, like, in, like, late elementary school or early middle school. So I beat Phantasy Star 3 one time, and that's, like, the black sheep of the series. And I was like, huh. You know, I kind of want to beat all the ones I haven't beaten yet. Okay. Is he hurt? Yeah, he's hurt. Okay. Well, I'll move you out this way, just to make sure. So I wanted to go back and beat 1 and 2. So that's what I did. 35. I don't know if I want him to get the kill or not. Zylo's level 10. He just got there. My main guy's level 10. I should probably give the kill to my main guy. So I actually went back and played through Phantasy Star 1 because I had never beat that one. I got real close. Phantasy Star 1 is a funny game to me because I probably would have beaten it more times had I not had an unfortunate incident in my childhood with that game. So with Phantasy Star 1, I bought a Phantasy Star collection when I was, oh god, I had to have been like 3rd or 4th grade. I had Phantasy Star 1, 2, and 3 on it. It was on the Game Boy Advance. It was called the Phantasy Star Collection. I remember loving that game because I loved 2, even though I never beat it on that. I loved 2. 3 was pretty fun. And then, like, I really was getting into 1. Like, I was really, really enjoying my playthrough of 1. Like, really, really having a good time with it. And then I remember I took a trip to, like, see some family out of town. Oh, I'll give Teo the kill. I remember, like, going on a trip to see some family, like, way out of town. One of my cousins, who I really, really loved spending time with, like, she brought a friend over. She kind of lived out of town from these relatives as well. And she brought her cousin over just to meet the family. She brought a close friend over, like, to meet the family and stuff. Which was, you know, fun. She seemed real nice. And I was letting her, like, you know, I had a Game Boy and I had the Phantasy Star game stuff, and she's like, do you mind if I play one of your games? I'm like, yeah, sure, absolutely, you know? So I, without thinking of anything. Well, she didn't play a lot of games, especially not a lot of RPGs, at least from what I knew. And she played Phantasy Star 1, and then when I went back to reload my file, she had saved over. I was like well over halfway through that game, and that's a hard game to get through. And I was like, oh, I was so frustrated. I was like, no, I worked so hard, because I like built out my characters. I had like all these extra items. Oh, I didn't touch that. As much as I loved like how much I enjoyed my one run through of that game, I did not play it again for several years. I finally picked it back up again 4 or 5 years ago and played it through from beginning to end. Really enjoyed my playthrough of it. And then right after that, I was like, I'm going to beat 2 now because I've never beaten 2. I've played it. I probably played hundreds of hours into it, but I've never actually stopped and like beat it because it was so hard. But yeah, so wow, sorry about that, guys. Long story. But going back to what started all of that was Phantasy Star 2 was my first Sega Genesis RPG, and I played that back in 2000, and it was in the fall of 2001 because I was in first grade, and I remember like coming home and watching my dad play it. He'd tell me how to play it, and he kind of like coached me through it. And then after that, not long after that, I played Shining Force. It had to have been either like winter of 2001 or maybe like late winter, early spring of '02. So it wasn't too long after. So, and I remember playing it in '02. The reason why I know for sure I played it no later than the spring of '02 was a really, really weird fact I remember about my past. I remember in 2002, spring 2002, I was in second grade, and we were having like a little Easter party at class, and we were like painting our own eggs, and I took like, we all had like little wooden, like the teacher supplied us all with wooden eggs, and she said, paint something on these eggs. Something fun, something cute. And I remember painting like the Shining Force character names, like the main character's name is like Max. I remember writing Max, Teo, Henri, like all the mage names. I remember writing the villains' names like Kane and Michaela and Dark Soul. I was like, that's just how versed into video games I was. Particularly a game like this. This was my first game of this kind. Most people's probably first strategy game was Final Fantasy. In the West, it was probably Final Fantasy Tactics. In Japan, it was probably some form of Fire Emblem. And possibly in the West, it was probably either Final Fantasy Tactics or like Fire Emblem Blazing Sword, which was the first Fire Emblem that was locally released in English. But this was my first strategy game, and it was one of my first overall strategy RPGs as well. Because, like, first overall RPGs in general, because I know Phantasy Star 2 was one of my first RPGs. I think I might just have my healers chill out over here. Just that way they don't get hurt. But yeah, I just distinctly remember that. I remember, like... Okay, he can hit Teo, so I need to move Eamon over. I can move Valbert over here. As long as there's a wall, like, around Teo, it's fine. There they go. Yeah, they'll usually go after the main guy, which should be able to take a hit or two. Oof. That did more than I wanted it to. Well, I'm gonna go after this guy. Oh, that's not a good idea. I left the space open for him to hit my main guy. If he gets a double, this run's over. No, it's not. Teo's gonna use an item on him. We're fine. We're safe. I'll keep him safe. Not what I was going to use Teo for, but what I ended up doing with it. I think I'm going to put her up here, just put a little bit less room between these Pegasus Knights and my main guy. Attack by 2, hit points by 2, that's not bad. Yeah, I think I'm going to promote her. I'm going to go ahead and get the kill with Zyla. But yeah, it's just how immersed, like, I remember doing that in spring. And this was easily one of my first, like, or this was my first strategy RPG in general, but, like, one of my first RPGs overall. I just remember that. I'm trying to really sit down and think of what my first RPG was. And I've got it narrowed down to 3 games, but I cannot, for the life of me, recall exactly which game. I can't. I don't remember. I remember, I got into 3 games. In the 3 games, I'll go ahead and start moving Teo back over, are a RPG for the PS1 called Wild Arms, an RPG for the... An RPG for the... Oh shoot, did I kill that? I killed that with May, didn't I? I wasn't paying attention. I did. Okay, so I'm not going to promote May after this because it's just wasted experience. I'll wait until after the next one, which is really fine. It's not the end of the world. I'll promote her after the next battle. I'll make sure she gets a level up in the next battle and promote her then. I kind of want to promote somebody, though. He's got 48. They're all, like, mid-tier. I'll promote Gort. That's who I'll promote. But, I know for sure I played Wild Arms. I know for sure I played it by 2nd grade, because I remember drawing, like, little cartoon... Like, I was sitting in the middle of, like, we were watching a movie for class in 2nd grade, and I remember, like, doodling Wild Arms characters watching the movie. Just because I was more interested in that than whatever the movie was. And it wasn't even, like, a movie for, like an important movie, like a science movie. It was just, like, it was kind of like a congratulations movie. I think it was towards the end of our 2nd grade year, I think. And they were trying to, like, congratulate us and be like, oh, good job for being good students. Here, watch this movie. It's the end of the year. Kind of thing. So I know for sure I played that around 2nd grade. And I remember drawing characters from an opening scene that I remember playing. But I didn't actually play that opening scene for a while. I played, like, my dad's file on Wild Arms because he got stuck and couldn't figure out where to go. So he just let me, like, play around. As long as I didn't save, he just let me play around on his game. So... And that was probably around the end of 1st grade, maybe. So something like that. And I also played Beyond the Beyond somewhere and all that. That was probably, like, halfway through my 2nd grade year. I played that game. Because I remember... Towards the end of my 2nd grade year, like, doodling Beyond the Beyond characters. That was an old PS1 RPG that very few people remember because there was some rough implementations. I enjoyed it. To this day, I still enjoy it, but I'm not going to deny it has its issues and its faults. And then I remember playing Phantasy Star 2 when I was in 1st grade. Those were my first RPGs. It's the 3 of them. I can't tell which one. Phantasy Star 2 was probably my first one because I remember distinctly it being the fall of my 1st grade year, and my dad promising me that he would show me how to play it. It was probably, game was probably my first JRPG. Wild Arms and Beyond the Beyond, though, I played roughly around the same time, so definitely, it's definitely close. You know what? I might get Gort, this lizard man kill. Yeah, because he can take a hit. I might let Gort kill this lizard man. And promote him. That actually works out in my favor, because I was going to bring Teo over there to do some damage to the Dark Priest and the Lizard Man, and then have Gort kill the Lizard Man. I should probably farm this for a minute or two. But we'll see. I'm going to see how much damage Teo does. I guess I can cast Sleep. Get XP off that. Because if you kill the lizard's like the boss. Like, if you kill the lizard man, the whole map ends. He won't get the kill. He might get a level up on that kill, but even that's doubtful. I'm gonna wait to see what he does. The Dark Priest is gonna heal himself. I'll go after Gort. Gort should be able to take a pretty good hit from him, though. Not ideal, but not too bad. So yeah, my little Nick's first JRPG was either Phantasy Star 2, Wild Arms, or Beyond the Beyond, and I'm pretty certain it was Phantasy Star 2. I'm like fairly certain it was, but I'm not 1000% sure. I'm gonna wait. Ooh, that'll probably kill him, won't it? I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna bring a healer in between the two of them. That way none of them take too much damage. I'm gonna bring Low up here, I think. No, actually Low has full healing items. No, I don't want to drop anything. Oh, he didn't heal his buddy. What the heck, dude? How uncool. How dare you deny me EXP? I can tell you my first big adventure game was Zelda Ocarina of Time. That was in first grade, 2001. Best Christmas ever. Nope, it was 2000. 2000. Christmas of 2000. My favorite Christmas. And then I don't know exactly what my first game was, but as I said in my Sonic video, I know for sure Sonic was like it was my first game I sat down and like really tried to like memorize the levels and you know, what have you. Like, I was like sitting there like trying to memorize the levels and like find little tips and tricks. Like, that was my first game I sat down and was like, I really like games. Couldn't tell you exact. I'll just go ahead and end it. He seems to not want to heal himself, so we'll just end it. Oh, I thought if you kill. Oh, well, that's different, isn't it? I thought if you killed the Lizard Man, it was all over. But I guess if you kill the Dark Priest, so that's fine too. Yeah, Sonic was like my first. I consider it my first game because like I distinctly remember like trying. I know I played Mario Bros a couple times somewhere. Like I know I played a Mario Game Boy game for a little bit at like a picnic when I was like super young. I remember. I think I'm gonna have Gort try to get some extra EXP so I can promote Gort after this. I know that I remember that for sure. Oh, well, dang it, Gort! Mass murder everything out here. Head for the bridge. Need to get across quickly. I'm gonna head for the bridge. I think if you just leave and come back, I think you're fine, but I'm gonna egress out of this next map real quick, just to be sure I don't have to repeat that map. Traitor, you've betrayed Lord Cain. I owe no allegiance to you or him, the foul fiend that he is. You are only a mercenary. You do what we pay you to do. Here, I return your gold. I shall no longer follow your orders, Toad. What a comeback. What an insult. But I like how he returned his gold. Like, well, screw you. I'm not gonna take your gold because I'm tired of what you're making me do. Like, as a kid, I never thought much of that. But like when I went back to replay this, like when I was like in middle school and high school, I was like, wow, like just the moment of like, well, you do what we pay you to do. You have our gold, don't you? And he just like, I just imagined him like throwing the gold back at him, saying, you know what, fine. which to me is like I just like the idea of like a merc, someone who's paid to do something, like has a standard. And they're like, no, I'm not going to do stuff like this. If you are not with us, you are against us. I will have the pleasure of killing you myself. Vile fiend. Ha! Thus fall all who dare oppose the will of Darksaw. Okay, we're going to egress out of this battle, and it's just to make sure that I don't have to do the other battle again, just to make sure I don't get extra EXP. So, I will introduce this battle in the next video. Yeah, no, Tainted Run. Tainted Run. I used egress. I egressed out, but it was for a good cause. I promise. So yeah, that's that map. So that map's not too bad. I kind of got scared when those Pegasus Knights came down. And I also kind of got scared. I had a couple of like minor scares with some of the enemy formations, but we did just fine, guys. That map's not too bad. The next map, you kind of caught a glimpse of it already. I'll go and like as I do with every map, I'll go into detail like what the map looks like, who's on the map. And whatnot, but yeah, the next map's pretty wild. It's one of the most I feel like I'm saying that about every map now, but like that map's kind of like how the circus had a really neat aesthetic. That map has a really neat gameplay gimmick. It's really there's actually I think a Kotaku article about that particular battle map and how innovative it was. To this day in a strategy RPG, I haven't seen much like that. The gimmick that's used in this next map. So it's really neat. I'm really excited to play. I want to play it right now, but I promised myself one battle per video. So thank you guys so much for joining me. If you like if you enjoy playing games with me and walking through these things with me, please hit that subscribe button. Please give the video a like and a share. Please show all your video game loving friends this video if you think they would appreciate it. I would love to do more videos and just like keep like sharing wonderful worlds of gaming with everybody. I do plan to do a lot more games, but I'm very invested in the Shining Force Ironman run right now. It's just as fun as I was hoping it would be. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you very much. Goodbye.